good day to you. I hope today brings with it a moment of blissfulness. Thank you so very much for tuning in and watching. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Coach Ambereen, and I lead this amazing TV show, my first day ever here, called Lead with Intentions. And welcome to Spanglish World Network TV on Zingo TV channels 250 and 251. As you are here tuning in, please remember the best way to support us is to download that app, both Zingo TV app on your respective app stores or on your iOS devices or even your Androids, right? So while you're downloading, please make sure to rate and leave a review. And this is a great way for us to know how we're doing and what we can do more for you. Zingo is available on Chromecast, Amazon Fire Sticks, Roku sticks, the whole shenanigans. You know how it is, right? So let's go ahead and dive in as I'm super excited to talk to you a little bit about what it really means to lead with intention. And as this show comes and it starts to unfold, it is my genuine intention to bring forth guests who are here, who are showing you how they're leading intentional lives. And today is no different. As we jumpstart this expedition, our guest today is Alejandro Bratti, who is a conscious high performance coach and a business strategist, a speaker who is changing the game in personal and professional development. With 15 years of experiencing managing multicultural projects across 13, you heard me, 13 different countries, his mission is simple, yet so profound: to be the co pilot for your individual, for the individuals who are accelerating on this journey to really push the boundaries and to touch the sky. That's right. We're trying to go as high as we can to bring out our best selves here on this show, whether it's through enhancing consciousness, boosting performance, or finding their purpose. Please help me in welcoming the one and only Alejandro Bratti. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ambereen. How are you? This is
I am
amazing.
feeling blessed. How are you?
Congratulations for your show. It's starting and this is amazing. So I am very honored to be here with you.
Yeah. And I'm sure none of you know this. One of the most important things is that I actually showed up on Alejandro's show. Okay. So we're talking about how to believe it, how to believe in yourself, how to launch this business and how to launch ourselves into the world. And through that, I had the opportunity to actually become a part of this expedition, to have my own platform to talk about, how people are living intentional lives. And so uttermost gratitude for this amazing opportunity.
So
All
I
right,
am. Let's start with this, and
let's
and we
dive
will have
in.
maybe my little one saying hi sometimes, but he's on vacation time.
Hey, as a family coach, seeing your little ones will actually make me happier. So, by all means, have them walking around. And I think that's what it's all about, right? Truly being authentic. And family is something that's so key and critical in our lives. So, shouldn't really shy away from that. So, as we dive in, Alejandro, tell us a little bit about who you are, what it is that you do, what you want the viewers to know about you.
Well, that question is like so profound that maybe we're going to talk for the rest of the show. But just saying in a nutshell, okay, who is Alejandro? Uh, That's a question that I have been doing a lot to myself. Really, I like the answer, like just saying, like I am who I am, and that's everything. But part of the things that I am doing is I am doing high performance coaching, leading entrepreneurs, business owners, directors, managers to their full potential, and that's the reality what I am doing with them. People There is a lot of questions of what is really high performance and how they can really improve their lives with high performance. And the reality is high performance, you can only have high performance if you know who you are and you know what is your best version. And that's part of the things that I help people to understand, like what is your best version, and start to align with that best version, and what are the things that you can do to align with that best version. So that's a lot of like part of the thing that I am doing. I love to connect that with consciousness, and that is something that I really love, because consciousness for me makes all the difference. Uh, why? Because everything is energy in the world, and understanding that everything is energy help you to understand that every emotion has a different frequency, like Dr. Hawkins was saying in his book Power versus Force. And understanding that help us to understand that, okay, right now I am so happy, for example, that I am here. So that it's a frequency that is high, maybe between 500 or 400 or something. And that allows me to attract a lot of things. But when I am worried about my wife, for example, and I don't like that because I am anxious that there is something that is not working well. So that is very low in energy. And that consciousness doesn't allow me to attract her and to have a better relationship with her. So that's why talking about high performance and consciousness for me is very important.
What have you noticed when working with these individuals who are trying to, start their own businesses and tap into their own greatness? Is the biggest challenge that they face?
Well, it depends really on the person. Like each person has a different challenge. Some people they are so good at their business that they stop being good at with their families or with their even health, and that's where the challenge starts to come. Is like some people, it's like okay, I have a good life, I have a good family, but my business is not as good as I want, or I don't know, I have like a limit that I don't know what else to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that is key also because everybody has an upper limit. And when we are not aware of that, we keep like having things like, okay, this my life is improving, and suddenly I look for something to put it down. And then it starts to improve, and then again put it down. So understanding that help us like, okay, what a coach does is help you to understand how are you thinking, what is your programming in your subconscious that is having this type of upper limit, like saying like, okay, I'm sorry, but you can go upper than this, you
Mm-hmm.
can improve more than this, and help you to go down again to be like, maybe if we continue talking about the map of consciousness, maybe you are, your zone of comfort is maybe 250. So each time that you are reaching 300, you are going to go down to 250 due to something. Even like you create a problem with your family just because you are used to being the 250, not 300. So that is key because everybody has one, and understanding that and working on that, you can continue elevating that limit, upper limit, to improve your life.
And how do these individuals that you're working with, or I guess how do people in general see that there's more that they can tap into instead of where they are right now? Like how do they break that ceiling for themselves?
First, the most important part that I believe everybody needs to, in order to have any type of transformation, you need to have awareness.
Mm.
There is nothing that you can really change if you're not aware. So awareness is the base of everything. That's where really a coach helps you to ask you questions and start to understand from different point of views what level of awareness you have. And when you start to improve that level of awareness, everything starts to changes, and really you can change it. So I love to explain there is more than this, but just put it in a simple way. We have a conscious mind, we have a subconscious mind. And when we understand that the conscious mind only has 5% of the capacity, our capacity, and 95% is the subconscious mind, I need to understand how to reprogram my subconscious mind so I can start to be. more effective, I can be more productive, I can be more happy, I can be in peace, like all the things. So, but the only way to change the things in the subconscious is by asking questions, by being aware, moving those programs to the conscious mind so I can decide again. The problem with the subconscious is that always is believing everything is true for the subconscious when it's already in the subconscious. So you are programmed already. Like if you believe that, I don't know, let's say something like everything, like making money is difficult, for example, and you need to work hard to make money, that means that your subconscious is going to show you that every time that you want to make money, it's going to be hard for you and it's difficult for you. It doesn't have to be like that, but for you, it's going to be like that because you have a program that is going to show you that that is the only way to work for you. So you need to understand, like, okay, but Alejandro, that is exactly what is happening to me. Okay, we can help you to have a like some questions to understand that that is not the reality. That is your reality, but not the reality. And starting to learn how to change that is very important.
And what's the most beautiful thing that you see? And I think for those of you who are listening, I would love for you guys to come, hop on every single Tuesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time with a pen and some paper. That's exactly what I'm doing right here, too, to take down these nuggets and actually start to see how you can apply them because life is all about transformation. And as Alejandro just mentioned to us, no transformation can happen without awareness. And when we do the work, we become more aware. So talk to us about what happens when these people start to see that there's more to their life, or maybe there's patterns that they haven't recognized now that they're becoming more aware. What's that leap? What does that leap look like? And what do you see happening once they realize that?
So, for example, in my program, the program that I do of high performance, the first coach is focal points. And that session, we define what is exactly what the person wants. It can be in any topic, doesn't have to be only money or only productivity. It can be in any topic. We review in different areas what is exactly where the person is not feeling fulfilled. And when you have that, I always urge the people that the person that is in front of me, like to tell me, okay, tell me really what you want, like even if it's impossible to dream about it right now for you. But imagine that life is perfect, life is good, and you can reach it. The good thing of doing that exercise, and even sometimes like an imagination, and I even wrote a post about imagination yesterday that some for something that I am learning. Uh, when you do that, you start to put like something like to the universe, to God, to the source, to what you believe, saying, okay, I want this. I know that there is a lack here. There is something that I want, and I start to see what is abundance for me. And this thing that I want is abundance. And why I'm talking about this? Because when you have that clarity, we start to work in different topics each week or every 2 weeks. And with that, there is like a north where everybody's going. And and I have seen people, for example, last week I was talking with one of my the CEOs that is working with me, and he has like 8 months working with me, maybe six, no, like 8 months. And he told me, Alejandro, it's incredible. I am so happy because I have tripled my company, like the
Mm,
size of my company. So that is one of the things. Like he had two people when he started. Now he has nine, and he is looking for another one. So that's part of the things. I was talking with another one. Like he is like, okay, Alejandro, I have my new north, and it's $30 million, and it's like, and he was in the 1-2 million when he started 6 months ago. So it's you start to dream bigger. You start to see the possibilities, not all the circumstances that you have around. and you start to create from the inside, like, okay, what is what I really want, not what is society saying, what is my environment saying, what is the economic saying, is what I really want, and how I can develop that from the inside. And that's maybe the biggest thing that I can do with everybody.
So, for those of you who are listening, just, I think this is a great time to just naturally dive in to how people can actually reach out to you, Alejandro, to work on themselves, work on their business. Because what you've just explained to us is they're 300 timesing, right? Multiplying that number by 300 times, where before you come to just 3 million, but now you're like, I'm going to tap into 30 million. Before you're like, oh, I have 2 employees. Now you're like, I'm going to amplify that and make them 60, whatever it is, right? And kind of keep diving in a little bit more into who they think their greatness is, which I think as humans, it's always unfolding, right? You are not the person you are today that you were 5 years ago. So do let us know, and our users know, um, how can they reach out to you if they actually are looking for a coach who can serve them.
Well, my name is in all social media, Alejandro Bratti, like everywhere. So I normally use more LinkedIn. That's that's the one that I use more. But I have Twitter, I have Instagram. Well, X, it's not Twitter anymore.
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook, and it's with Alejandro Bratti. And really, we have I always give a session for free just to understand where is the other person. And for me, that is important because I also want to know if I can help you, and I
Mm,
also want to know where are you if you really want help, because it's not about just like, okay, another customer. No, it's like, let's understand if really we are a fit, both. If you believe in me and I believe in you, and we have a good match, that we can do something amazing. So that is always something that I do.
okay, I love listening to that, which I think is a great segue to talking about what does it really mean for you to lead an intentional life or live with intentions.
So if you ask me that question, maybe like a year ago, I will say like, okay, intentions. It's like I don't like intentions because, but really understanding like the meaning of intention is something that if we go again to the consciousness, and it's a high level, and it's talking about like something that everything starts with an intention. What is my intention? I am here, and what is my intention? I want to help people. I want to give love. I want to share knowledge. I want to share wisdom. I want to, So it's like I have an intention every time that I'm having a session. When I have a session, I have a call. I am always connecting. For example, for me, my words, I want to always care. I
Hmm.
want always to inspire others, and I want them to feel like connected with me. So I want to have those three things, and that's something that I am looking every time that I'm having any interaction with anyone. So I by having that clarity, I can come with you, and it's like, okay, let me see if I can connect with you, Ambereen. Let's see how is the connection. Oh, it's a very good connection. I feel everything that is happening. Okay, let me show that I care.
Hmm.
And that's the intention at the end, is knowing what is your best version and how I can apply it in every circumstance or every relationship or everything that I am doing. So, and the third part is inspire. It's like I always want to leave the person that is with me or the person that is in the other side feeling inspired, like, wow, there is something else that I haven't realize, and I have a new awareness today that I can do something about it. So at the end, that's what I'm looking, that's my intention. And living with intention for me means knowing what can be those three words, those five words, those things that can allow you to realize what is your best version, and how you can even imagine that best version and you are applying it as much as you can.
Okay, so for those of you who are listening in, that is a lot of amazing nuggets that Alejandro is dropping. The first thing he shared with us is that I'm not just working with everybody. It's not a client thing for me. It's not a money thing for me. So he's already expressing to us and showing us that he is living a life where he's leading with intentions. The most important thing is connection and care and making sure that you're inspiring each other. And I think that's a journey that is only fueled with growth and goodness. So do share with our with me first and foremost, but then also our viewers. What is something personal that you can let us know, that you can share with us, so we can get to know you a little bit better, Alejandro?
Personal about anything or
Anything you're like, when the person who's watching it today thinks of me 5 weeks later, 5 months later, this is what something personal I'm giving to the audience.
okay, let me think. Like an idea that comes to my mind is, well, part of my story. For example, I am studying right now, studying, not only reading the book Think and Grow Rich. Uh, and there is a lot of nuggets in the book that is helping me to understand even why in my life something worked and something didn't work. So, for example, the first chapter is talking about desire. And the chapter of desire is like you just you need to have more than a desire. Like everything starts with an idea, a wanting, then it moves to a wish, then it moves to a desire, then a burning desire, and then an all-consuming obsession. And that path is key for every idea that we have, and understanding that that if I really want something, I need to move to the all-consuming this obsession, because that is where I am attracting, like I am a big magnet attracting what I want.
Mm.
Um, but so that's talking about that. So that brought the idea of what happens when I decided to study my MBA.
Mm.
So I was in Guatemala. I I wanted, like I started to have the desire to study the MBA in another country. Uh, and the first decision that I did is, okay, let's buy some books to
Mm.
study how to do a GMAT, and I have to have a very good grade if I want to go to a good university, and blah blah blah, all of that. The first time I received my book, I went directly to do the test, and I was like, okay, this is so easy. I am good at mathematics, so this was so easy, and I answered all the questions. And when I finished, I reviewed how was my answers, and
Mm.
I don't remember exactly, but out of 30, maybe I had three good, and everything was bad. And I was like so frustrated that I said, no, this is bullshit. I am not going to do it anymore. This is not exactly what I want. So, but I continue understanding this part that I was saying, like, okay, I have a wish. I move that wish to, okay, I have a really a desire. I don't want to be doing what I am doing now. And the only way I knew at that moment was
Mm.
studying the MBA.
Mhm.
So I took that book again and started to study and started to do everything. At the same time, there was a presentation from the university I wanted from Spain in
Mm.
Guatemala, and they went to Guatemala in a hotel, and there was a friend telling me, "Okay, come, let's go and let's see, find out if that it's a fit for us." I went and I love it.
Mm.
So what I am saying is, every time that something, if you have a dream, you start to even say to others. That's another thing that happens at the beginning. Is like I am not saying anybody that I want to study, because I don't want them to find out that I am not doing it if I don't do it.
Mm. Of course, social accountability. We talk about that often. Yes.
But if you start to open the space in the in the universe, and God understand. Okay, Alejandro wants this. So I started to send this guy that he was a friend, like he knew that I wanted that. He told me, okay, there is a presentation. We went to the presentation. I did. He was in the presentation. They told us, okay, you can do the exam for us tomorrow if you want. Like tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
I was like
Let's go.
planning
Let's
that.
start the process. I
I
love it.
was planning to do it in, I don't know, in 2 or 3 months, and suddenly they are saying like tomorrow. Like, okay, let's do it. And I did it. The next
Mm,
day I was there doing the test. Uh, and then it took some time that they didn't even answer. I sent all my information to the university. Uh, and suddenly, like, I decided, like, okay, I already decided to stop working. So I start to follow my dream. I was doing that. And I didn't have the answer from the university. They are supposed to do a interview to see if you are a fit or not. And after the interview, they approve it. And when it's approved, you have to find out if there is a space for you. But I didn't have answer of anything of that, and I decided to buy a one-way ticket to Spain.
there you go.
And the day before I left Guatemala, they called me. We need to have an interview, and I had the interview with them. The day I left, then I decided that I needed to stop in Miami because there was a lot of things that I didn't have, included a laptop to
Mm,
use during the master. That I was not accepted, but I already knew that I was going to study that. So I bought my laptop, I bought some clothing and everything. Uh, and the day that I left Miami, they called me, Alejandro, you are accepted. I went to Barcelona, and in Barcelona, I called them again, like, okay, great that I am accepted, but do you have a scholarship? Because I don't have the money to pay this
mm-hmm.
amount. And okay, let's wait. And they say, like, okay, you are going to enter. And I don't remember, it was 1 or 2 weeks later. On a Friday, they called me, Alejandro, we are waiting for you. The program is going to start. Tell us if you are going to take it now. And it's like, okay, tell me. You need to tell me if I have the scholarship or not. I don't have the money. I had like in my savings, I had like $3,000, something like that,
Mm.
and the program was $90,000. So it was like a,
A
a
little
little
bit, a
different.
little different here. Yes, indeed.
And I was like, okay, let's stop. I can tell you yes. So tell me if there is an scholarship or no. They tell me
Mm-hmm.
no, there is no scholarship. All the scholarships were already given. So tell us. And it's like, I can tell you right now, I don't have the money, but I want to. So
Mm-hmm.
during the weekend, I was like, okay, there has to be another way. And I started to have this insight, like these ideas of people I could talk. And I called them like in Guatemala, like I don't have anything to offer you that guarantees that I'm going to have you the money back,
Mm-hmm.
but I have this dream, and I started to say everything that I wanted. And there was one person that told me, yes, Alejandro, I believe in you, so I am going to give you the money.
Oh.
And on Monday, I was so happy that I called them, like, okay, I have the money. And they told me, I'm sorry, but you don't have the space. You told us on Friday no, and we already gave it to another person. Uh, and then I told them, I'm sorry, but if I have the money, you have to have a space. So I don't know what you are going to do, but I need my space. And they told me, okay, let's talk on Wednesday, and that's the last day that a person can leave, decide
Mm-hmm.
that they are going to leave the program. And if there is one person that leaves the program, you can be there.
Mm.
but it's not in our side. Depends on the people that already paid for the program. So okay, sounds fair. So at what time is going to close that person? So I on Wednesday I called them and they told me call us in the afternoon, but because it seems that maybe one person is deciding to go. And in the afternoon it was like, okay, Alejandro, your space is here. So
There you go.
when when are you going to start? So why I am telling this story? Because connecting with the desire and the is it has to be an all-consuming obsession. I burned all my ships. I decided to take the trip to Spain even without knowing that I was accepted.
Mm.
Uh, I decided in the whole process, I was so secure that okay, there is a person that is going to say no to the program, so I can enter again. So
Yeah.
everything was like that, and at the end, that's where how you start to attract things. It's like, oh, that's amazing, Alejandro, how you did it. It's like, no, it's not me. It's understanding how the universe works and how you are in a level of consciousness that you are attracting things, and even the problems in the process are only ways for you to feel like, okay, this is the right path, and this is exactly the right thing that I need to do.
That I think is key, right? I think for those of you who are listening and tuning in, I'm super grateful that you're still here with us and giving us the highest commodity, which is your time. Is when you have a desire, and it's just a desire. You do nothing with it. It just stays that. But what Alejandro's story tells us is you have to have a desire that turns into an obsession, but you are so committed that you just keep rising. Every challenge that comes your way, you're like, yep, I'm going to nail it. Oh, somehow a solution's going to come. I don't have the money. Okay, I'll get it from somebody. That necessity of raising your hand, asking people to support you on the journey, vocalizing what you want, even though there's that fear of like, oh, people are going to ask me, they're going to hold me accountable. But that's what growth is. In order for you to rise as your best, to bring out a version of you that you don't even know exists within, you got to make sure to tap into this mindset of, oh, yeah, of course it's there for me. But the one thing that none of us have control over is that time. So we heard about it, we picked up the book, it's like, I'm putting it back. It's so much work. Pick up the book again. Oh, okay, I'm just going to hop into Miami. I have no clothes, I have no laptop, but I'm going to Spain. It is like you can hear the unfolding and the perseverance and the commitment that our desires require. And I think one of the most important things, and I wouldn't be true and honest to myself if I didn't dive into this area, is what's something you would tell us about your family and the dynamics of your family where we can actually tap into your home, Alejandro?
Okay, I have two kids, one of
Okay.
3 and the other one is 6 years old. Uh, Both are boys, and my wife. I believe I started my whole process of consciousness and really understanding what is that and what is energy and how that works because of my wife. She has been in that journey for a while before we even met, and and she was talking like, okay, Alejandro, this, and I was like, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand anything, but okay. And sometimes there was even a resistance until I really started to realize all of that, and I started to study and have been in a journey that I love really. Uh, Moving from I thought that I was not religious, but really I was.
Okay.
How I see myself, to the point of really believing, having a relationship, and connecting with that true power that we have inside.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing of the what we have with the kids is, at least in the level of awareness that I am now, is that help me to see them both. They are not programmed. We are. They have their own free will, their own imagination for everything. So just listening to them, how they play, how they think. It's like there was, for example, one time that one of my kids had started to have some dreams, like some nightmares, and it was the little one. And I was like, okay, how we can help him? And we, with my wife, we were like giving him different tools, ideas that we could have until I I decided like I am going to ask the other one, Daniel, how he
Mm.
thinks he can help the little one. And I told him like, okay, Daniel, when there is any nightmare, do you have anything to do with that? And and how you can explain Mateo, the little one, about that? He told him, yeah, it's very easy. You just take an imaginary cell phone and call Jesus, and he's going to answer you. And you tell him that there is a nightmare, and he can leave, and the nightmare goes away. So it's as simple as take your phone and call him. It's
Mm.
an imaginary, but he answers always. It doesn't matter that it's imaginary. And I was like, okay, that's the best answer I have heard in the
And
in a
I
long
want,
time.
yeah, I think that is so magical you said that because for me, little people, right? Kids are my favorite people on this planet. And it's for that reason. They're so simple minded, right? And they're just so intuitive in the way that they solve problems. I mean, that's like the way that we would tell adults, like, sit down with yourself and kind of have a conversation with God and see what God says to you. But adults are like, we don't have time for that. Whereas kids are like, I have a cell phone, I've got a direct line, and Jesus picks up every time. And how do we leverage that? That conviction, right? That devotion where we realize that there's always a higher power. You know, you can call it universe, you can call it God, you can call it creator, you can call it, whatever your name is, whatever the name is for you. There's something that's making the world go around, that's creating galaxies, that's responsible for how we conduct our day to day. And I think that's so magical. What would you say is the biggest challenge that your family's facing? Or maybe a problem, the biggest challenge in any relationship, Alejandro?
Mm, biggest challenge. Maybe I don't know if it's the biggest challenge, but there is okay. I'm not sure really what I believe. One thing that at least from my side and my wife is this like we know that these kids are special and they have a special connection and a special way to see the world.
Mm,
Eh, but I also know that we as parents or adults or grown-ups, because we don't see the world as they, sometimes we just turn off like all the receptors that they have, so they are understood in the world, so they know they behave the way everybody is expecting, so all of that. So for me, maybe one of the biggest ones is to be so aware and so open to help them continue with that innocence and that connection and that way of being always. Like it doesn't matter that, okay, I know that you are supposed to read right now and understand how is the process of reading, but okay, let's connect what is the best way that you think this can work and start to not put all the limitations or the ideas that you have of what is supposed the kid has to be doing, but
mhm,
even have this type of conversation with him to see if he has other ways, like the ones that I was telling you, like, okay, that helped Mateo a lot, and suddenly
mhm,
he was not having those dreams. So it's like, and he was even in another conversation telling me, Daddy, I don't know, but right now we are fighting together against those monsters that Mateo is saying. It's like, okay, are you fighting together in the dreams? Yes, in the dreams. Okay, awesome. But if to be aware, like not to start to say like, ah, that's impossible. How do you think that you can be doing that if you're in one, you're one person, the other person is another one, so you can connect and mix the. So it's like let allow those things to happen. And
What's
there are some things that I know that I see, and there are some things that I don't know that I don't see. you know,
Mhm.
so that's a part of the challenges that I can say right now.
What will you do differently now that you've explained to us that the challenge is assimilation? We live in a world where we're kind of given hints, sometimes subtle hints, sometimes very open hints that this is not the way things are supposed to be. And when it comes to our kids, and what you said is protecting their innocence and that purity, what's one thing that you can commit to doing so that way when this thought comes into your mind, you really sculpt and cultivate the way that's going to lead best for your family?
Well, the way that I think is, and that's how I started the program, is at the end, my thoughts become things, everything
Mm.
that I am thinking. So I am being clear and honest here, and I didn't prepare, like, okay, this is the answer that I'm going to give here. But for example, when a thought like that comes to my mind, I just have to say, okay, thank you, goodbye. I accept it, but
Mm.
I don't agree with that because that if I keep that thought in my mind all the time, I am going to start to attract. Even when I am thinking like, no, I don't want to be a not aware person that doesn't realize what is happening. If I keep thinking about that, I'm going to start to attract that, and I'm going to become that person that is doing that. So what I need to do is stop thinking about it. Thank you very much for the idea from the mind, but I am not that. I am an aware person, and I have to
Mm.
believe it, and I have to be open and be present with everything that is happening every day.
Yeah, I think okay, so for everyone that's listening, I think it's really important for every single one of you to think about a challenge that you're facing with your own families and just come up with an action item that you're going to do just to move the needle forward a little bit, to be able to just to deal with it. Or even like Alejandro said, recognize that it's there. It's so important and it's key, I think, in order for us to become who we're meant to be. And I think the most, the most important thing we have to realize is everyone is authentic. Everyone's here with a very different perspective. No two people are alike walking on this world, yet here we are trying to say, oh, fit into this mold and do things this way, and this is what's acceptable, this is what's not. And when you can define for your own families that that challenge is something you're going to take on, you really start to shift and pivot the way that things unfold for your own self because you're changing your thoughts, hence changing your life. Okay. What's one change, Alejandro, that you want to see in the world?
So let me explain what you were saying in another way because that's exactly at the end what happens. So I always say that when I have a view thinking like, for example, I am not aware, and I'm thinking that I'm not aware, and that's the all thinking that I have. What I have is glasses that are red, so I am looking at the world red.
Mm.
And I can be thinking like, I don't understand why everything is red. It's like nothing is working for me in my life. Everything is red, and I don't understand why even you are red, and everybody that I am looking is red, and that is affecting my way of thinking, my behavior, my self care, my self love. Everything is affected because everything is red. What I want to do with the world is start to learn how to take off those glasses that are not allowing you to see all the beauty, all the perfection, all the abundance, all the potential that is everywhere. So
Mm.
it depends on the glasses that we have. And those glasses, you think that you are born with the glasses because that's the way you have been the last 20 years. And so this is who I am, and I am like that. So they have to understand me and love me the way that I am because I am a person with glasses, and that's it.
Mm.
It's like, yes, of course, we are going to love you the way you are, but understanding that those glasses are not allowing you to see your full potential, to see who you really are, to see the rainbow and all the colors,
Yeah.
uh, to see the beauty in everything that is happening around you. Uh, that's where we need to start to live. So that's what I want to leave to the world, is that, like, understanding how the glasses that they are wearing in different situations are affecting their potential and their lives.
That's beautiful. That's actually answering the first question of the intentional wrap up. So we've got the rapid fire, right? Questions that are coming through, in which the intention is to really get a few sentences to answer a question that I'm going to ask. Alejandro, we have not prepared for this. It is not scripted. So get ready, take the notes down, because this is going to give you a lot of nuggets that we can all learn from. I've got my pen handy and my notebook right in front of me so I can actually learn as well. So you already kind of mentioned what you want to leave behind to the world is knowing the sense of, I'm going to let you answer it actually.
Knowing the sense of limitless potential.
Yeah. All right. The other question, the second question is, how will you know you've led an intentional life?
Because I am living the words that I said that were my best version every day. So I am
Mm,
living with connection, with care, and inspiring.
okay. If you can create one law that every single human had to follow in this world, what would be your law, Alejandro?
Mm, one law. It's already all the laws that are existing. Are really amazing. The only thing is that we don't know them. But the
Okay.
laws
So,
of creation, the law of vibration, for me, it's amazing. For example, understanding that depending the emotions and the things that we are thinking, they are creating the the vibration, and that creates the attraction that we have. Law of attraction works always, but depends on your level of consciousness. So
okay.
depending, if we are thinking low, the attraction is low. See, if we are thinking high, the attraction is high. So it depends on really what is the vibration that we have.
Okay. All right. So everybody remember, the law is that your feelings create your reality. What you believe is what you'll get from life. Okay. All right. What is one lesson that has made you who you are today?
One lesson. There are a lot of lessons,
I know.
but
I was gonna ask for one.
um, I believe there is, like, even in my success markers, I have words like awareness and consciousness. So even for me, that's key. I believe that even from since I was a kid and I was reading the Bible, like saying like, okay, my people is perishing because of lack of knowledge. It's not saying that we are thriving because of lack of knowledge. It's like, just because we didn't know, it doesn't matter. We still perish. So it's like, when we are aware and we really understand, we can change everything. So for me, that's key.
Okay. What's the key to a healthy relationship?
The key, uh, open communication.
Okay. All right. Let our viewers know where they can find you.
For me, LinkedIn is key, with my name, Alejandro Bratti, with two T. Uh, so that's maybe the most important one, but I am in Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. So that's in a nutshell. So thank you for the show today, and congratulations for your show.
Thank you so very much. So, for those of you who are listening and have tuned in until the end, I am in uttermost gratitude for you sharing your time here with us. I hope you have found this to be something beneficial. You've taken away some nuggets that are going to help you and your loved ones in this 50 minutes that you've devoted and given to us. As we continue this journey, by all means, please reach out to Alejandro. Alejandro Bratti is all across social media. And this show Lead with Intentions can be heard on Spanglish Radio Network. Please check out www.spanglishworldnetwork.ca. And for all the news and the programming, you can definitely tune in to Spanglish World, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, and the most important thing, live it, because that's what intentions are all about. Thank you so very much. With a whole lot of umbergy, take good care, people.